What we have in this box is a product that is known internationally as a byword for quality and excellence from a manufacturer with a household name. Now, what you can probably also tell from this box is, which does look a bit like a tramp's summer house, that the contents of this box are also not new. This is an eBay purchase of a product that would cost you circa £600. Let's say no more, get the knife out, and let's have a look. There is a smell to this that is quite potent, let's put it that way. So before I go any further, I'm going to get the gloves on. So this is what we purchased. Perhaps the question that I didn't ask was whether it came from a smoke-free home, because this was a heavy smoker. There's all, I would say, also old lady feet. So a really heavy smoker. Do you know when you get that, when smokers smoke so much that it's like even their tears are brown? Considering the chair didn't come with it and it was separate, that's also perhaps a factor. I don't know. Maybe she, died in a chair and was so attached to it that they had to be cremated together.
So it's held together with a couple of hex bolts that go through the legs and into a metal frame in the cushion itself. Those can be removed relatively easily. I'll be honest, it was a little bit of a faff getting in there, but I did manage it in the end. Next stage is to give it a good thorough sanding. Just really, it's smooth already, just trying to get it cleared off ready for painting. You can see what's left is actually a pretty nice construction. The base itself is made of a laminate. It's not solid, it's bent into shape. Then with the legs sorted out, it's time to do the cushion.
So having done a bit of Googling, the problem is that any severe kind of washing, any soaking, any immersion is going to get rid of oils and other things and can cause the leather to crack. So I've just been doing some Googling, looked at various web pages. It seems to be a bit of a no-no to do anything invasive in terms of washing. Stick it in a bucket of water, don't use detergents that you'd use for washing, But do you know what? I'm past all that. I'm going to take a punt. I know this wasn't cheap anyway. I don't want to throw away the money I've spent on it, but I'm not going to live with the cigarette. So if it doesn't work, then I'm going to stick this in a washing machine. I'm going to try and see whether that solves the problem. I know it's a gamble, but who cares? Let's have a go. Remind me about the washing machine in 35 minutes.
Okay, I've added the washing machine for this afternoon at 14:53.
So a particularly worrying time when you pull your pure leather footstool cover out of your washing machine and take a look for the first time. In fairness, I think it held up pretty well. The cotton interior managed to do well, but it actually still stunk. So out came the industrial solution. So this bad boy is normally used for cleaning things like hospitals and ambulances. It will kill any bacteria. It also kills COVID as well as verrucas, so it's pretty amazing. Next step is to turn attention back to the base. Now for this I used basically an aerosol black mixed with cellulose thinners. I applied it in a few coats and then used sandpaper and wire wool to kind of distress it a little bit. I was trying to create a grain effect. After I'd got pretty happy with what it would look like, I sealed it in with quite a basic water-based gloss varnish. Did it a few coats, maybe 3 or 4, rubbed it down as well in between coats to get it nice and smooth. Attention back now to the leather work and also reassembly. Actually went together pretty well, although even after the wash and it would nicely dried out, you can still see the kind of nicotine yellow. This really should be cream and it's more yellowy, so it made me even more convinced that dyeing it was really the only sensible solution. The product I chose was this, came from Amazon. I think it was about £20-25. You wash the surface down using isopropyl to help with the keying, and then basically get it on however you possibly can. I think it recommends using a cloth, but I wanted to get into the stitch work pretty deeply, so I just used a brush initially and then just sponged different coats on. In between coats, using a heat gun just to help the process. Overall, I think this took somewhere in the region of 5, 6, maybe even 7 coats in order to get it somewhere near the look I wanted to achieve. In terms of general tips, I would say take your time with it. Probably do it in summer rather than winter because it goes on better. The consistency for this particular product is a bit like a very thin boot polish. It goes on but can easily leave streaks if you don't take some time and work them out. But once it is done, it looks gorgeous. The only criticism I have is the chair is matte and this is more kind of patent, it's a bit shinier. So back into the workshop with a abrasive pad, and I just gave it a once over. Just be careful if you do this, because you can take a bit too much product on and show through the original colour underneath, which I did in a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that. Nobody else will spot it. I think it's a bit of a closer match now, and overall I'm really happy with it.